down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
What's going on, Savvy investors? This is your boy, Steve VanCauwenbergh. It's Tuesday. Yep. And we're over 450-something episodes. Wow. Just the other day, Facebook said 3 years, May 2015, we launched the Savvy Radio Show, and I'm glad that you're tuning in. You got 400-something episodes to catch up on. But today I'm going to talk about what I've learned so far in the trenches. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Savvy Radio Show. My name is Steve VanCauwenbergh. I am your host. I am somebody savvy, maybe. Well, what I've learned in the trenches so far, excuse me, let me clear my throat. Number one is I had a property that always would rent all the time. And I was like, man, something's wrong with this property. And I haven't been to it in a long time because I had attended there for a couple of years. So it's my job in the company is to do the marketing. Not so much all the marketing, but at least do the videos and the pictures. So I drove over to the property. I'm scrolling through the property, doing the video, and I realized these rooms are kind of small. And I think I wasn't really paying attention now. This is the interpretation. My property manager said there is a closet, and I was like, I didn't see no closet in room number 3. So technically, it's kind of like a 2-bedroom with the studio or 2 bedrooms with an office. And see, I realized when I was driving away after I did the video, I was like, man, why isn't this renting? It's in a great neighborhood. It's got a decent price. It looks good. It's all refreshed. Why isn't it renting? And bam, it hit me in the face like a rock or a punch from the rock. And it was, you're trying to advertise VC to 3-bedroom people, which is usually a big family. 2 kids and a husband and wife usually 3-bed people want 3 big rooms. And if I just changed my marketing a little bit, say 2-bedroom, I want to attract all the people with a 2-bedroom with a bonus room, but it's not necessarily on the rent. We as real estate investors, we always think that lower the rent or it's the quality of the product. The quality of the product was there, but this time I think that it wasn't marketed properly in the right school district. And when I read the listing, it didn't say anything about the school district. Property manager fail, a.k.a. VanCauwenbergh. I failed. Number 2, it was a small 3-bed under 1,000 square foot. So maybe if you remarket it as a 2-bedroom with a bonus and same price, and it necessarily doesn't matter about the price. People get hung up on 3-bed versus 2-bed, and most people do get hung up on the price. Not all the time, but just a thought. Second thing I learned. All right, so I'm down helping my homie. This guy is a superstar real estate investor. It's an honor just to be hanging out with this dude, period. And so this is cool, and I recommend that you should do this. Learning this in the trenches. Go and hang out with another real estate investor. Go look at their property. Go talk to them. Ask them the questions like, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Okay, I know that sounds simple, but it's so powerful. Well, what do you mean? There's certain material that this investor buys that I may not buy, or in an area of where, like on the south side of Oklahoma City, there's different suppliers for different products. So that's just one basic idea. But here's another idea that I learned in the trenches. So my buddy's like, dude, I got this commercial property. It's a strip center. It's rented out. I'm doing okay, but I got a vacancy. One of my decent tenants in there, I wouldn't call them an anchor tenant. Now, they could be an anchor tenant, but they bounced out. It was a very large sporting goods store, and they left. And this is a pretty sizable strip center. And I went and looked at it, and I could see that it was a great visibility was awesome, and it was on the main drag. And I thought to myself, why isn't this renting? Now, this is 6,000 square foot of space, and that was the problem. Ooh, what do you mean, VC? Well, the problem is that this gentleman, this investor, super savvy investor, was marketing it as 6,000 square foot of space for rent, Well, you just kill everybody. In reality, everybody wants to kind of be, micro these days. But the one thing that he wasn't marketing, and you could say it like this, 2,000 square foot of high profile traffic storefront location. Or don't even put the square footage in there. We'll build the suit, or we'll rent you what you need to attract the right tenant. Powerful. I don't know if that means anything to you. This is just a collaboration between myself and another investor figuring out what's going on and why isn't this property renting. I don't have a lot of commercial experience, but it was just obvious to me. He's in the trenches, and he's dig deep into the trenches, into the mud, and he's not seeing the obvious. That's what I've learned. Number 2, the obvious may slap you in the face and you're not even paying attention. See, now when he remarkets the property, he markets as storefront. So many vehicles have driven by, high profile, move in, 1,000 square foot. And you say, well, what are you going to do with the other 5,000? Hey, we'll figure out the other 5,000. If he's getting the same amount of money, let's just say he wanted to rent that space for $3,000. And he can rent out 2,000 square foot for $2,000. Now he has 4,000 square foot that he can for sure rent for storage space to somebody else for $1,000. So that's something number 2 that I've learned in the trenches. All right. Number 3, service. Don't accept subpar. Keep looking. Ooh. Well, what are you talking about? I'm talking about real estate agents. Whoa. Okay. Here you go. Controversial. I know. Probably no smart real estate agents listen to the podcast, so I can say this, right? Nah, I'm just joking. I know that just stung if you're a real estate agent, but there are real estate agents out there that know service and go the extra mile and handle the tenant even if it's in a ghetto. That's exactly right. So I got this real estate agent that just wants my business, and it's awesome. And it's a long story. Maybe one day I'll reveal this individual, but this person chased me down, realized the caliber of what we're doing as a real estate firm, and wanted to earn my business. He's been earning my business, and he's been crushing it. This dude, I'm selling houses faster through this guy than I know that I wouldn't through anybody else. And here's what I'm talking about, the service. And so let me say this one more time. Don't accept subpar service. Keep looking for that realtor. And guess what? People used to get upset with me why I'm not loyal. I am loyal. I'm loyal when someone does good service and they're loyal to me. Loyal to me means that they're bringing me deals, or they're interacting. They don't just call me up for a listing or, hey, I got this deal. Wham, bam. No, thank you, ma'am. This is what I'm talking about. This dude, I'm trying to sell this property. It's in an area that I'm not a big fan of. And the tenant's hard to get a hold of. And this realtor was like, let me take over. What's the tenant's number? He tried to get a hold of the tenant. Tenant would never answer the phone. Everybody doesn't answer the phone. Text tenant. And then he said, hey, full service right here. He's like, bro, can I post a notice on there, 24-hour notice to enter the property? Absolutely. He even asked me, I know you have a management company. Can you give me that 10-day note? I mean, the 24-hour notice? Absolutely. I gave the notice. The guy drives over to the property, posts it. That's full service. Let me say it again. Stop dealing with subpar realtors. Go with the value approach realtors that create value. This realtor is just off the chain. For example, we're in the middle of several deals, and he emails me, and I'm like, bro, I don't read emails. I figured you didn't, so let me tell you what it is. And then he went to the bullet points. I don't got time to read this 30-page contract. What are they negotiating? What's their counter offer? And sir, what's the best strategy to come back? And now this realtor is not some wisdom guy. He's just an authentic dude out there grinding it out, slowly but surely, brick by brick, building an empire. I'm telling you, I'm faithful to this dude. Want a relationship with this dude. I would die in the trenches with this dude because he just gives me full service. And I just feel obligated. I'm up front with him all the time. I'm like, hey, this is only a $30,000 house. It's not that much. And we talk on the front end, hey, I'll take $1,000. If you don't mind, I'll take $1,000 for my service. Absolutely. It's the best $1,000 I spend because he's interacting. I don't have to worry about anything. He's taking his full service. So again, don't accept subpar service. Keep looking for the right realtor and just keep going. Even in the ghetto, you'll find someone that's motivated to help you and serve you, and that's their job. And telling you, and here's another cool thing about this guy. And I'm done with this. I'm not on this dude's nuts, but this is the other thing. He's a real estate investor himself, and he just sounds integrity. And here's another thing. I mean, I'm not saying it to be flippant, but like I remember one time I coached people in Oklahoma City, and I coach people all over to the country. And yeah, great, well, what you do, savvy. Who cares? I know you don't care. But here's the point. One time, someone came up to me and said, "Do you steal deals?" I'm like, wow, I didn't think of that, because I'm helping people with their deals and helping them negotiate. And I guess people do steal other people's deals. This guy, that the realtor, what the point is that like, he is a real estate investor. He's out looking, and he has a real estate investor mindset. And there's several times where he's talked me down off the ledge saying, as a real estate investor, that's not necessarily the right thing to do, or that's not the right way we should present that offer. And I mean, just with like-minded people, with integrity, with great service, bar none, you go to the next level. Bang, bang. Number 4. Fiverr.com. Yep. Well, if you listen to this, you're probably way behind on if you don't know what Fiverr is. Fiverr is a kind of an outsourcing platform. You get things done for $5. Well, why am I bringing this up? Well, Fiverr seems to be ranking up the fees. I've been using this one individual for a long time. It's been a couple of weeks since I jumped on there. I've been real busy. I wanted to hire this cat again. Went on there, and their Fiverr's fees have doubled. So I called my friend in Tennessee, Amy, Facebook and social media gangster, and so I was like, "Yo, girl, what up? What's up with this Fiverr?" She's like, "Yep, they're all ramping it up, but there's about 300 more out there." And she's like, "Go to peoplebythehour.com. Just Google up Fiverr alternatives, and you'll find tons of them. Just give me a heads up right now. Fiverr may be ramping up their price, but you know about it now. So even though it's only $5, still it's $7 after all these fees. I'm telling you, by the end of the year, it's probably be $10. Seems to be ramping it up, and I understand. The other day, someone was telling me they've been using this guy for a long time to do a video for them. They usually charge about $10. The other day, it went up to $40. He said, "Man, they're a dime a dozen. They're everywhere." So just keep that on your radar. Things don't fall in love with people. At $5, you get what you get what you pay for. Number 5, Home Depot, and even my people's Lowe's. They're becoming nimble on their inventory. Now, this is just an observation. I got no data. I mean, my own personal data. But this is my point on number 5, what I'm learning in the trenches, is that I used to buy specific material so I can go back and we're consistent, like AKA Allure flooring, or a certain tile, a certain color paint, all uniformity. So we're all on the same page, faster, cheaper, better. Okay. And what I've learned and this phone call that I had today. So I found this tile that I need to have for a remodel that I'm doing. And I need about 1,000 square foot of this tile. I called my girl over at the pro desk. I was like, "Yo, I need 1,000 square foot of this." She's like, ooh. And I can't remember what term she said. Basically, they're closing it out. And I'm like, "What? This is a great tile. Why are you closing it out?" And what I realized is that Lowe's is doing the same thing on some wall tile that I bought the other day. So if you think you're going to be consistent 6 months from now, 3 years from now, like you're going to go back and replace something, you might want to buy, as an investor just told me earlier today, a little heavy, a couple of extra pieces, or few. You should always use the word 10% overage, and there's a reason why. But keep in mind, my whole business model was, hey, I can always go to Lowe's or Home Depot and order the SKU number, and they'll find it somewhere in the world and ship it to me. That's not necessarily the case anymore. That's just an observation. It's just something to be aware of out there in the trenches, that, you're short a box of tile. It may not be in existence 6 months, 6 days from now. A little nerve wracking, but now you heard it. Now bing, bong, bing, bing. Number 6. Man, I was racking my brain. I was like, man, what's all the things I've learned so much? I learn so much all the time. I'm getting slapped all the time. Man, I mean, I should just break off what I learned today on drainage on a crib. Oh, man. Getting hammered on some drainage. But I learned this from a group that I joined a while back down in Houston. But it's called Best Product, Best Price, Better Tenant. I don't know how they say it. I can't remember. But I'm telling you, I've been putting this into play, and it just makes sense. I'm done with the riffraff. This is where I'm at right now. So I have this apartment building that I'm in the middle of remodeling, and I was getting $600 a unit, actually $575 to be exact. That's how much money I was charging for rent on this unit. And I'm like, man, if I just jazz this deal up, and I'm still working on the numbers. Let's just say I put in $10,000 into the unit, but my goal is to charge $300 more a month. 300 times 10, you do the numbers. What's my return? Let's just say I get it all done for 3 years. But my NOI goes up like ballistic. So that's what I've learned. Number 6, best product, best price, better tenant, less headache, better quality, rents out faster. Anyway, this is your boy, Steve VanCauwenbergh. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. I'm so glad you did. If there's a subject, let me know. It's summertime. I got some free time hanging out with my children. And we coming up with ideas all the time. You know, enjoy what you do. Go give somebody a hug. Tell them Savvy
Thanks
told
for
you so.
listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.